All right, my INTPs, because you guys are so terrible at typing. I'm going to tell you guys how I do it. So, what I do when I am talking to somebody and now I can type within like 10 seconds of being with somebody, even 2 seconds, because type people who are each particular type has a cadence, and even the way they walk or the way they enter a room, I can tell what they are. Uh, but anyways, I want to. Somebody just said that fucking Putin's an ISTP, and I cannot. INTJs look evil to people. Why do they look like the evil mastermind? FE blind spot, baby. They don't give a shit about other people. They're unethical. They don't walk into the room caring about the feelings of others. So it makes everybody a little bit cautious. Anna Wintour is an INTJ. The Devil Wears Prada is about Anna Wintour. She's not a nice lady, but she keeps the standard for Vogue. Mitch McConnell, who was in charge he was the majority leader for Republicans. He's a fucking asshole. But he thinks he's right. He wanted to keep the power for Republicans, and it worked. He consolidated the power, and now it's backfiring on him. Well, I think, might be dying. He's in the hospital now. But his strategy was unethical, and that's why it's not working. Every Republican forfeited their power to consolidate the power of the Republican Party. Instead of the Republican Party adapting to the current needs, they wanted to shove their way, and they blew up the government, So who else is Mark Zuckerberg? Another INTJ would be, I'm trying to think of like famous INTJs. There's a movie. Ralph Fiennes plays a chef in a movie called The Menu. He's an INTJ. That FE blind spot makes them unlikable. I saw a video of a former Fiona Apple interview from years ago. And apparently, when she put out her album title, which was my absolute favorite album for like a decade or more. I can't believe how young she was when she put it out, and it was so sophisticated. But she said that she put it out in hopes to be liked, and she became less likable, that people liked her less. I don't know if that's true or not, but it was in a video. It was in an interview. And so INTJs have to endure not being liked. That's a tough thing to endure, FE blind spot. But they have this villain aura about them. Now, they're not all like that, but there is a conceit. So IJs and EPs have a sort of a healthy relationship between tribe and self, right? They have their sense of individuality, and they understand that other people have their sense of individuality. But introverts slightly like themselves a little bit more than other people, at least in the beginning. As you win them over and they like you, yes, of course they're going to like you a lot more on an individual basis. But as a whole, they prefer themselves over tribe. There's this slight tinge where they like themselves more, where EPs lean a little bit more in liking people more than themselves, because EPs need attention. They need to influence you. So they are going to give you a little bit more. Introverts are going to give you less. But it's the FE blind spot that ends up really screwing up ENTJs. I guess ISTJs too. My ex-husband was an ISTJ. He passed away. And he wasn't likable to a lot of people. A lot of people thought my ex-husband was a dick. That's David Goggins is an ISTJ. It's like, toughen up, man. Stop being such a pussy. Who else is an ISTJ? Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, the FIFA football player. He's an ISTJ. They have FE blind spot sucks. They don't really give a shit about the feelings of others. But my ex-husband and I were able to have a long relationship, 10 years, because he was extremely loyal. And when we met, that was something that I felt like I really, really needed, because I was going through some stuff. But anyway, INTJs come across like villains. ISTJs come across like assholes. Kobe Bryant, I love Kobe Bryant. ISTJ, he's just was kind of a dick. Can you see that, guys? I mean, I don't know INTPs. That SE blind spot is just really hard for you guys. I'm so sorry, but you guys are terrible at typing. Once you get it, you get really good, because I have a friend that I made through the channel. He lives in England, and he got really good at typing because we were having one-on-one debates, and he understood, like, he got it. Once he saw the cadence, he was like, oh, that person's this, that person's that. ENTPs were the easiest because they're just such chaos junkies, and so silly. That FE child is so easy to see, and they're so outgoing, and they tend to be vocal. They want the attention. But anyways, yeah, that's how I type. I just watch tons and tons of videos. So, like, if I'm typing somebody, like, let's say Joe Rogan's an ISTP, I watched a bunch of his videos, and then that guy that wrote the 4-Hour Work Week or the 2-Hour Work Week, I can't think of his name. I watched all his videos. I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys could be twins. That's an ISTP. ENFJs, Ben Affleck, Olivia Wilde, Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey. What are they telling you? They're sharing you the moral of the story, the morals, the story, the people. It just, I don't know. It's so obvious to me. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, bye.